Um, and I heard what you said, Mr. Copeland. You made it clear. You were adding Jeffrey Williams because that's what the police wanted to hear. Is that true?
That's what they told me.
Because you had an agenda. You wanted to get yourself free, right? You were in custody, right? Is that true?
Right.
And in order to get out of custody, go home, you knew the police wanted to hear information that Jeffrey Williams committed crime, was a big fish. Remember that?
That's what they said.
Yeah. The police told you they wanted Thug. Remember them telling you that?
That's what they said.
Before all this information about Jeffrey Williams, you remember the police telling you, we want the big fish, we want Thug. Remember that?
Yeah.
You remember the police telling you, it wasn't just local police, and that's bad enough. I'm not saying that's not serious. But you had the Atlanta Police Department with you on June 10, 2015, Detective Gaither, gang unit, right? She's in the room with you. Detective Dennis, right? He's in the room with you.
Right.
He's with the gang unit.
Right.
I told you. You had Detective Thorpe, homicide.
Right.
With the City of Atlanta Police Department, right? Correct?
Right.
And you had federal alcohol, tobacco, firearm, explosive Special Agent Cunningham at times with you in that room, right?
Right.
And Federal Agent Cunningham told you that you are an armed career criminal. Remember that?
I don't remember nothing about the interview.
Okay. Well, I'm going to play it for you in a moment if we need to. And she told you that you are getting, without parole, you know what parole is?
Yeah.
If you get a sentence, you might get out a little earlier, or you may get out earlier on parole. You know what I'm talking about?
Ain't no parole in the feds.
Exactly. So you do every day, right?
Right.
And in the federal government, Special Agent Cunningham with the federal authorities said she already spoke with the U.S. Attorney's office about you, right? We'll play it. Do you remember her telling you you're getting 15 years without getting out every day to the door as an armed career criminal? Remember that?
I don't remember what she said.
Plus, you're getting an additional 10 years on top of that for a total of 25 years for two different guns, the gun at the Dunbar Center and the gun in your home on June 10, 2015. Remember that conversation?
I remember she said I was looking at a lot of time.
And do you remember she even calculated for you? She asked, how old were you on June 10, 2015?
You said how old was I?
She asked you that.
I guess.
And she added 25 years to that and said you wouldn't get out until you're 48 years of age. Remember that?
I guess.
Then Detective Gaither, Detective Dennis, and Detective Thorpe explained to you that's just federal charges. You also have to deal with gang charges. Remember all that?
I guess.
That means that that could be stacked or run consecutive. Do you not remember this?
I don't remember the interviews.
And you told them, I don't want to go to jail. I hate jail. Right?
I do.
Right. And you told them, I'll tell you anything you want to know. I just want to go home. Yeah, I'm not saying that's a quote, but that was your.
Sound like me.
Yeah, that's what encouraged you to tell these lies, right?
They did.
Yeah. That's why when you told them that Jeffrey Williams went to the gas station and changed cars, it's not on the video because it's not true, right?
I was trying to tell them anything to get them out for me.
You were making it up. For that reason.
I don't remember what I told them.
Okay. We just.
This is what the state should be doing. Everything that we've watched since Steele started playing that video. He just brought it all back. He told us his point for doing all of that and clarified the exact takeaway the jury is supposed to have. Jeffrey Williams was not in those videos. You told them back then he was in those videos, which means unless we don't trust our own eyes, what we see in these videos, what you're saying today is consistent with what we see with our own eyes. And what you said back then is not consistent with what we see with our own eyes. Therefore, you were lying back then because you were under this pressure. That is what the state never does with their own presentation. Shout out to Steele.
Listen to it. Remember, you put your earphones in?
Mm-hmm.
That's what you told them. That was not true, right?
That's what I told the police.
And the verification there should be, if you were telling the truth to the police, it should be then at the Texaco gas station, you see Jeffrey Williams changing cars, right? If you were going to be verified, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let's talk about you in the Infinity at that gas station. Okay?
Objection, Your Honor. Assume the facts not sustained. I mean, I think we hadn't really heard the question yet.
If you were in that Infinity at the gas station and had anything to do with the murder of Donovan Thomas, what did this district attorney Hilton tell you would happen to you?
Objection, assuming that's not evidence, it's speculation. Why don't you not ask it as a compound question?
Tell the jury what District Attorney Hilton told you on June 10th of 2015, if you admitted that you were involved in the killing of Donovan Thomas. Tell them what she...
15?
Excuse me.
Try that question
Excuse me.
again.
2024, right?
I just got it. June 10th is the same exact date. Okay. June 10th, 2024.
Here we
I
go.
see it. 2024, June 10th, a Monday. Remember meeting with your lawyer, Judge Glanville, District Attorney Hilton?
Right.
Yes? In this
Mhm.
courthouse?
In the judge chamber.
Yeah. I wasn't there, right?
Huh?
I wasn't there.
You wasn't where?
In the judge's chambers with you, Miss Hilton, your lawyer, Judge Glanville?
No.
None of anybody here was there, right? It was just the people I mentioned and security.
Objection, Your Honor. Let's get to the actual question.
Tell the jury what District Attorney Hilton told you would happen to you if you admitted in any way that you had anything to do with the murder of Donovan Thomas. Tell them.
They gonna lock me up.
Boom.
So when you have this use immunity for anything you say, District Attorney Hilton told you, but you can't say that, right?
Objection, Your Honor. Improper foundation. He must ask the question that I asked.
That is testifying, and I'm asking Mr. Copeland to
Overruled.
tell the jury. Tell the jury your understanding what Ms. Hilton told you if you admitted to being involved in the murder of Donovan Thomas, even with use immunity. Tell what the District Attorney's Office would do to you.
Huh?
Objection is compound. The compound question.
I don't think that was compound. Okay. If you admit the way you were told by Miss District Attorney Hilton, if you admit to being involved in the killing of Donovan Thomas, you get prosecuted for that, right?
Objection is improper question to what was asked. You'll have him on redirect.
Yes,
Overruled.
it's coming
Is
in.
that true?
She said, if I do that, plead the fifth, I'm gonna go to jail.
And when you say, if I do that or plead the fifth, if I admit
Verify his
to
words.
being involved in Donovan Thomas' murder, I go to jail, right?
Huh?
That's what she told you. That's what Miss Hilton told you. Am I correct?
I didn't hear you.
Okay. If you admit that you're involved in the murder of Donovan Thomas, you get prosecuted. You go to jail, right?
Two things to send me to jail.
One is if you admit to the murder of Donovan Thomas
Let
being
him
involved.
answer the question if he's going to let us know what his understanding is. What is your understanding?
Go ahead.
Well, when I was talking to them,
Tell the jury.
I don't recall. I don't know what's going on.
Mr. Copeland, if you were to admit that you're involved in the murder of Donovan Thomas, do you go to jail? Is that your understanding through District Attorney Hilton?
Can I ask the judge a question?
Let's take a recess.
Oh, come on. Wow, holy
Can I tell my
moly.
lawyer?
Yes. Just
Oh, he
please.
wants in the here. He said that in front of the jury. Can I talk to my lawyer? I mean, he has the right to say that in front of the jury, and the right to ask to talk to his lawyer.
So I can go?
Step out. Yeah.
But if you were a juror and this just happened, and he's like, "Can I talk to my lawyer?" What would you make that up? How would you interpret that? So we're gonna have a recess here. I don't know if they're going to look at Doug watching the body language, scanning the room. Look at the state. Look at the three of them.
All right, unless anybody needs to put anything on the record, we're going to recess and let Mr. Copeland have whatever time he needs to speak with his lawyer.
And what's crazy about this, guys, Steele is doing so much here. It's really beautiful to watch. You have to understand, he expected that there's going to be objections. Oh, Kenneth Copeland could be a difficult witness. Even if there's things that he might actually answer, he's probably predicting the same repetitive type of answer, right? Like I said before, I told everybody, I've said it, I'm saying it again, I would lie. He's kind of got, it seems like a script at this point for some of those repetitive responses. Steele opening, I would not change this and have a different defense attorney open. I think this was the right way to do it, even though I predicted maybe it'd be somebody else starting. This is extremely powerful. He's connecting the dots. He's also doing very, very small, detailed things that I think a lot of other attorneys or attorneys that wouldn't be equipped to deal with this type of scenario wouldn't do. One of the last questions he clarified, and he used Kenneth Copeland's own words. He separated the or. If you lie or say that you killed Donovan Thomas. Because the way Woody said it, it kind of blended together. Steele pulled that out because everything that we do in the chat with these, did he say was? Did he say we? Steele's getting ahead of that and making sure the record, the transcriptionist, the jury, all hear what they actually need to hear and don't need to decipher it. Just some incredibly, incredibly, like, I don't know, whatever, standing a little bit for Brian Steele right now. But I think it's beautiful. It's a lot. And then you have this note, they're going to take their recess. And Copeland asked to speak to his attorney. Brian Steele is making it clear. And Woody's question to speak with his attorney right in front of the jury is corroborating, is supporting Steele's line of argument that Kenneth Copeland still may not be clear on what his immunity agreement covers. The state just passed the witness with an ending line of questioning that tried to patch together something with this immunity deal. Well, if you had something to say, like maybe you were the one that did these crimes, surely you would have said it on the stand now because we gave you immunity. Thus, if the defense comes up right now and tries to say that you're being truthful today and not back then, the jury, you guys shouldn't think that makes sense, because why would Kenneth Copeland lie today if he has immunity? Well, Steele just established Kenneth Copeland still does not understand what he's safe to say. He just twisted their entire attempt to get ahead and clean up all of this within, what time did this cross-examination start? I noted it here. 7:02 into the stream. So 47 minutes ago. It's been less than an hour. And their big finish cleanup with Kenneth Copeland, he already spun on its head. Like, that's what we just witnessed, you guys. It's exactly this, Peter Ortiz. State opened the door, Steele walked through, and closed it to the point where we get a recess. Like,